This is the video presentation of the Smartboard session that I ran from the Speed Geeking training on the 4th of February. I hope to use this time to get across my top 10 tips for use of the Smartboard in a slightly less rushed way, so that you've got the opportunity to take a look back at things we did that you didn't have time to take notes for. I'll also answer the questions that I got from the feedback. So you see, first up, I think it's very important that you have a nice background when you start using Smartboard. It looks nice, it's all nice and clear, it's better than writing on the whiteboard itself. So I want to go through how we set that up. I'm going to open a new page and I'm going to right click. You can either do this at the board using Format, Background, Gradient Fill, and then pick some colours. I like my pink and my green or blue. I like that at the moment. It shows up a bit blocky on the video, but on the day it looks really nice. Or I could do it directly from my desktop by right clicking, set background, gradient fill, and do the same thing. Here I'll go for a pink and a blue. So I like that. And then each lesson would start with a text box. So that's here, and you're going to drag that out. Screen width, and I'm going to choose the font that I like. There's some 6 default ones in my little bar there. I'm going to choose the big one. It's Arial 36. You can change that afterwards. And here's my title, date, and LOs, all ready to go. Blah blah blah. So that looks nice. And the next thing was to take a look at the way things move around the screen. I can pick this up and it will move around. And sometimes when you're drawing things around the stuff that you've already got on the board, you might pick up the wrong thing. So I'm going to show you how to lock something down. Just about anything that you import has a little bar here, a little button here with all the properties. And one of them you'll see is locking. If I lock that in place, it's now fixed and won't move around. You try dragging it and it just creates a selection box. Next, as I'm writing, I like my writing to look neat. It's not always the best, and as soon as you pick the pen up from the board, you get the default pen, which is this one, which to me looks a little bit ugly. It's okay, it's readable, but my personal preference, my personal favourite, is the calligraphic pen, which you see up here. And it starts off flat by default, but you can change it to the option below and it goes nice and thin, and for me, my writing looks quite nice. In this pen. Obviously it could be better, but for me that's quite good. You can take a look at the other options for pen if you like. Got all your fancy pens. Have some nice wiggly worms, which are nice. I like that one. Smiley faces, you can just have one smiley face if you like. More worms. That's an interesting one. It looks like sort of spray paint. Stars, daisies, and my current favourite, some sprinkles. You've also got highlighters, various colours. Some of the backgrounds don't work. You've got different thicknesses. Highlight things. Let's make a note of. Crayon, which I'm quite liking at the moment. And there's other special pens as well. There's a special writing pen. I just thought I'd mention this. I didn't mention this on Monday. A special writing pen. I've never found a really good use for this, but if you watch carefully, that's the special writing pen, and it vanishes like invisible ink. I can't think of a reason to use that at the moment, but I always think it's quite nice. The special pen also does this. If you draw a circle, this happens, and you can pick this screen up. It's like a little spotlight, so you can go around the screen, play hunt the object, press the X, and it goes again. Still on the special pen, draw a square, square-ish. This is another strange thing, and I'll show you what this does. I can get my pen back. slight technical hitch there. You can't draw with this up. But if I drag this over something that's already there, it's like a little magnifying box. So I can see a use for that, maybe in artwork, really homing in on some finer details. Could be quite fun. Now, you might want to know where these all are. My toolbar contains most of these things already, and if yours doesn't show up with those, it's a simple case of going to View, Customize Toolbar, and you'll find all the different things that are missing. And once you set this up on your PC in your room, it will always come up. Someone asked the question, do the settings for your smartboard get saved on all the different rooms? I'm afraid at the moment they don't. Someone said they were working on whether that would be possible in the future. So at the moment you've got to do it for the room that you're in as you go along. Once you've done it in one room, it should stay there. But just for example, if I want the volume control on my toolbar, I'm going to pick it up and drag it into one of the places where it says I can drag it to, anywhere like that. And now I've got the sound thing on, and I don't particularly want it. I'll take that off later. And done when you're done. Okay. You can import anything you can think of into Smartboard. You'll notice here I've gone for old school chalkboard. But if I want to put anything in here, an image, picture, YouTube link, anything, I'm going to show you how I do that. Have a file open. I don't know why I've got some of these things here. Of a baby Santa there. So I'm going to just normally, as you normally do, Control-C, cut that. And I can paste that straight into my Smartboard. There it is. Resize it. This is quite good. If you go to the option which says Set Picture Transparency, just click on the white bits around it. Lose a bit of his head there as well. Then you've just got the baby Santa. And for those of you who didn't see, chucking stuff around is always good fun, especially when it's a baby in a Santa costume. If you want, you can attach a sound to that. So I can put a sound, I can put a link. If I want to attach a piece of music to that, I'll go to my music, wherever that is. It's up here. My music. I'm going to go to my sound effects. It's got the Family Fortunes TV bleep here, and you can attach that as a corner item. Shows up as a little sound icon, little speaker, or just attach it to the object. Attach sound. Whenever I press that now, it will come out with the bleeper sound from Family Fortunes. You didn't hear that, but it went off in my headphones. Try it, it's good fun. Cloning is also a very nice utility that you've got here. If you go to Infinite Cloner, you've now got infinite, oh, I didn't mean to do that. You've now got infinite baby Santas. And I could probably make some almost semi-regular tessellation with these baby Santas if I like. I'm sure there's a function for that, but certainly in maths, we use that sort of thing a lot of the time. Well, I do. While I'm at it, the thing I just did, if I slide my finger quickly in one direction, it does change page number. So if you don't like reaching up as high as the toolbar to change page, you can do that. And that's quite fun too. Drag to the left goes forward, drag to the right goes back. Absolutely crucial for me, and I would expect a lot of people, is the ability to go over past papers. And when you write on a past paper using just the Smart tools without Smartboard open, you get problems like this. So I'm going to open up exam paper here, mathematics, just flick around that bit, get to a question. And you notice if you just pick up the Smart tools outside of Smartboard and start writing, that's all great. But then you move it, move the page, and the writing stays where it is. So I don't really want that to happen. So let's get rid of that. You will find this, I think, invaluable. One of the print options, you least expect it, I suppose. If you click print, one of the print options, when it comes up, hello, currently set at Block C, English Resource Mono. Go down to the bottom, somewhere, I can't find it. There it is. It's not at the bottom here. It's on Smart Notebook. It's right near the top. Maybe because I've used it recently. So that's that. And if you hit that Smartboard notebook writer, that will now print all 12 pages that I've got here directly into a brand new Smartboard notebook. It does take a couple of minutes, especially if it's a large document, but then you will have a locked down bit of work, which the writing stays exactly where it is and doesn't move around. It's going to just go through this, and it's going to ask me in a moment if I'd like it as an image file or as editable text. With math stuff, I tend to write it as, leave it as an image file, because otherwise it changes some of the equations into weird stuff it doesn't understand. So if I do it as an image file, and it takes a couple of minutes, well, you'll get there eventually. And here we go. So I've got Smart Notebook with pages with images. So that's the one I want. You can't edit these. Or you can try it with editable objects. Perhaps if you've got just text, that'll be okay. But I go with that. And then it's just going to convert that, which takes a little while. Because it's got 12 pages. This is my favourite bit. In the 40s. Not getting any faster. There we go. But what you notice now is we've got the document in Smartboard. If you run your finger down here, you've got all the different pages. It's a little bit like PowerPoint, I suppose. I could click on a page and it'll go straight to there. So I want to go to that page. I don't like this auto hide, so it's good. Down the bottom here, can you see that? Down there, auto hide just went because I clicked it. There's auto hide down there, down the bottom. Uncheck that, and then when you click away, it disappears. Check it even. But now you'll notice if I want to go up to the next page, doing this all wrong, my first job will be to put that page somewhere near the top, and remember, lock, and now it won't move around. But when I start writing here, that's 70 degrees, that writing must stay there, and obviously you've got the option of using your highlighter. I'm going to highlight key parts, and so on and so on. And you can fill in your answers there, and it looks better. Page 2, again, you've just got to go through the process, maybe just locking down a couple of the pages first. So, lock. Okay, so that's document, and that looks nice, and you can save that somewhere. While we're on saving, file managing I find absolutely essential. And if I go to save this now, file save as. Yes, that's annoying. Sometimes does that. But I have, I've gone away, that's why. Go back to my libraries, go into my document library, and what I've got is this folder here with daily Smartboard on, and I've got a folder for each of my classes. So I've got Geeking is just there. That's the currently page I'm working on now. But I'll have all more things here, and if I want to create a new folder for display or whatever, I'll chuck it in there and save it. But everything's here, day to day. Everything I use is in there. So if I want to call back a lesson that I've used before, students missed a lesson, and say, can I have that lesson you did last week? It's very easy for me to just pull it up, or print it off, or give it to them on a thumb drive. Okay, so all my files are all sorted out by year group this year. Okay. And my final tip, which I didn't get to with many people, was, I suppose, that taking this one step further. I've got this file, and I've filled in all the answers from my past paper, the mock that my year 13s did, and one of them wants a copy because they missed a lesson. So I said that we could give them to that as a thumb drive. If we go into the options to see what we've got available, in File, if we export, you'll see do that, an image file. I certainly wouldn't want to do that, but a PDF or a PowerPoint if you like that sort of thing. But I like to chuck them in a PDF, and that way I've now got all the work I've saved, go through all the things there, save that, give it all its titles, whatever necessary, save, and again I can put it somewhere where it would be most useful, which would probably be in my daily Smartboard. If usually when I'm opening Smartboard, it defaults straight to the last place I was. It doesn't have to go all the way around the files there, so I don't know quite why that's happened, but I can save that there and call it something useful. If you can't be bothered sitting down, there is an onboard keyboard. Call it something useful, like WordTy, save away, and there you go. I'm going to cancel that. And then you've got a file with all your work on that you can give to a student or post on Moodle. So, questions from the session. I think I've already answered one question, which was about saving your settings. Saving your settings currently can't be done. Currently, only in your room. So as you move from room to room, you'll have to resave your settings each time. It sometimes changes and alters things when people have been in your room and use Smartboard, and you may need a bit of recalibration. Occasionally happens. Next question, can I use these files on other IA boards? I've made a lot of work, I've done a lot of work, and I want to use it again. There's maybe a nice file that I had on a particular piece of work. At the moment, I don't think so. Sorry, that's a question for Adrian and the tech guys. But I'll try and find out. Next question was, can I work on this at home? You'd need the Smartboard software, and that will involve us bringing your home laptop in and seeing if the tech guys will load it up for you. Again, I'll find out. Next question, can I take my work with me? Yes, you can. You can export it as a PDF, as a PowerPoint, stick it on a flash drive. It's there for you forever. Next question was, how do I bring up the page? I wasn't quite sure what this meant. I'm not sure whether it's just opening a new Smartboard file or bringing up the toolbar that I'm sliding up and down here. If the Smartboard tools aren't there on the side, that's what I consider to be the Smartboard tools. If you go Start and Programs, one of the options is, as you go and find it, Smart Technologies. If you hit that, Smartboard Tools, that one brings up Smartboard Tools. I didn't want that to happen. Try that again. Smart Technologies. The Smartboard, Smart Ink Document Viewer, I don't know what that does. Smart Ink is the thing that works on anything in the Windows. And then hit Smart Notebook and that'll open up the page. So I think that's the answer to your question, but I'm not sure. Come ask me if I haven't answered it properly. That's all from me. There's loads more things you can do. There is a little video drive somewhere. I'll try and find it for you if I go through here, of how to make a video, which is always quite fun. Computer, T drive, go to Smart Notebook, and I've done a little video here called Making a Smartboard Movie. And I did that last year, so I didn't have any fancy backgrounds. It's all white, so it's a bit boring. That's it from me. Thank you very much.